I'm James Demer, the Audio Nomad. Today we're going to review the HarmonicDyne Eris, which is a headphone that's a collaboration between Zeos, who's a YouTube reviewer, and HarmonicDyne, which is a Chinese headphone company. And I happen to know that HarmonicDyne was founded by a fairly young Chinese guy who was a hi-fi head and was, I believe, in university when he decided he wanted to experiment with making headphones, and so he started making headphones, and next thing you know, his company is, on fire. He's been making, he probably has 5 or 6 models that have been very successful, and this is the latest. And let's get right into it. So it's a 50 millimeter dynamic driver. And for those of you that don't know, a dynamic driver is sort of like what you have in a regular speaker. It's a cone that moves back and forth and pushes air in a fairly traditional manner. Headphones have been using dynamic drivers for many, many, many years, and there's no reason they shouldn't because they work pretty well. And in this case, I'd say they actually work exceptionally well. This is a mostly closed back or a hybrid closed back design where you see that the faceplate here is fully closed, but it does have some little vents around the edges, which allows the back of the dynamic driver to vent or give space for that air on the back of the side of that dynamic driver to move. So it's not a true closed back. And true closed backs offer the advantage of being fully isolating to the outside world so that what you're listening to is really just what the source, whether it's music or a microphone or whatever, is picking up. So it isolates that outside ambient sound really well. It also isolates what you're hearing to other people who are around you. So if you're in a quiet environment and you have closed back headphones on, for the most part, the person that is sitting next to you can't hear what you're listening to. I wear closed back headphones for work as a location audio recorder, and I've been doing that for 25 years. And the reason that I wear closed back headphones is because they isolate everything really well. And I know that whatever my microphones are picking up is what I'm actually hearing. But for music, sometimes an open back headphone is more appealing because it can tend to give you a sense of space and soundstage, which is really just sort of an expansive feeling that the sound you're hearing is kind of all around you. These headphones, I wouldn't call them expansive, or, I wouldn't say that they have a fairly large soundstage by any stretch of the imagination, but they don't feel isolating, and they do a reasonably good job at presenting the music in, spatially at least, in a way that feels natural. In terms of audio quality, there's something interesting on the side of this box. It says the bass violence necessary for change. And I feel like maybe someone put this on for shock value, or maybe it's a Zeos saying, I'm not sure. But I wouldn't say that there's anything violent at all about these headphones. In fact, quite the opposite. I found them to be very pleasing across the entire frequency spectrum and dynamic range. Didn't matter if I was listening to quiet music, loud music, or bass heavy music, or acoustic music. These really presented everything in a very pleasing manner. Are they detail beasts? No. These don't present music in a way that gives you all of those micro details. These headphones are great for average everyday listening. I actually use them mowing my lawn. I use them when I was cooking dinner. I listened to a movie wearing these headphones, and they're really great for those sorts of things. Are they good for critical listening? Not for me, because I find that they don't present detail in a way that I need when I'm critically listening. I don't hear all of the little nuances, the breath, the pops, maybe noises that are deep in the background that I wouldn't hear with other headphones. I don't hear them on this set of headphones. But for general music listening or general audio listening, these are great. And they'd be a great travel set too. One reason is because they cost $250, so they're not extremely expensive. They fold in a way that's sort of a kind of flat, which I think is nice. No, they feel nice. They look nice. They have this, I'd call it a denim blue velour, very, very soft pad, very soft ear pads. Maybe they're a little too soft. I kind of like a firmer headband, but I never found them fatiguing or, the headband didn't feel too hard on my head. Do these look and feel super premium? No, they're not super premium. They feel like they're worth $250. They're a little plasticky, but they do have some nice details like a laser etched Zeos logo here with Eris below it. And then on the other side, it has the HarmonicDyne logo and the serial number. I think that's cool. There's some mixed textures in terms of plastic. Like this is sort of a basketball looking texture up here, very smooth, deep purple, almost an eggplant side panel and cups here. One thing I've noticed is that they're super smudgy. When I was trying to polish them off or when I was trying to wipe them down for close-ups, it was really, really difficult to get all the smudges off, and I probably failed. I really like the cable. The cable is soft and supple. It's not too thick, but it's also not too thin. The 3.5 millimeter plugs that go into the locking jacks, or not really locking, but it's a firm connection into the headphone is really nice and solid. They're labeled left and right. Sometimes, it's those silly little things that manufacturers forget, and you're like, is it the left side, the right side? It's pretty easy to tell on this headphone. One thing that I'm not crazy about is a 4.4 millimeter termination. For those of you that don't know, 4.4 is kind of the latest balanced size tip. Oh, it's been around for a few years, but it's a balanced tip. So it's got tip, ring, 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 sleeve, so that you have a balance signal from each cup. It's a weird size. And because this is a headphone that I'd use either with my phone with a dongle because it's easy to drive, or a laptop, just kind of like traveling on the go. I don't have a 4.4 source with me most of the time. Luckily, Kiwi Ears makes this Allegro, which is a beautiful little DAC dongle, and it happens to have 4.4 millimeter. And if you use the DD Hi-Fi cable, it also works with an iPhone. So you use a USB-C to Lightning. And this is what I used for the Eris, and it worked great. I like to have fewer, nicer things in my life, and I'd say it's true with headphones. Is this a headphone that I feel like I have to own regardless of how it sounds because it's so nice to look at and to touch and to hold and to feel? No, it doesn't quite reach that mark with me. There are some headphones that, that hit that benchmark, like the Focal Utopia. They're very, very expensive, but they're carbon fiber and they're metal and they're premium leather, and they just feel so nice and they look so nice that you almost can forgive the way they sound, even though they actually sound gorgeous. But if something looked and felt like that but didn't sound great, maybe you'd forgive it because tactily they're just so satisfying. This headphone doesn't quite meet that mark for me. It's fine. It's sort of the Toyota Camry of headphones. It does everything you need it to do. It does it really well. It doesn't cost a fortune. So I'd say, generally speaking, this is a headphone for $250 that I wholeheartedly recommend. They're comfortable. And while the soundstage isn't as wide as it could be, and the the detail isn't as detailed as it might be, they're a fun listen and they're well balanced. The bass is nice and thumpy and it's not too tubby. The mid-range vocals, both male and female, come across with a pleasing timbre that sounds natural and easily matches my custom-made monitors that I use at home. And with that, I'd say go to linsoul.com. If you're interested, pick a pair of these up or go to a Can Jam and we'll have them at the Linsoul booth for you to try. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope you tune in to see more engaging audio content in the future. This video is brought to you by Linsoul.com. I love them because they sell some of the most fun and innovative in-ear monitor products, headphones, DAC amps, cables, generally all kinds of cool stuff that I love listening to and using, and my guess is you probably will too. So check them out in the link below. If you like what you saw in this video, definitely like and subscribe, and feel free to comment. Okay, until next time, thanks for watching.